Yo, what's up guys? I'm back and this is a new build I've been working on. I'm kind of like middle progression level. I'm at tier 10s and I can pretty much run any type of modifiers. I don't even really look at my maps. And I go full tablets. I don't always use the third, it just depends on if the map's already rolled like that. We'll go over gear, skills, and passes after this map run. I just kind of want to show you guys how it looks. It's just a regular map trying to travel up here for another Nexus. Hope you guys enjoy.
Clan rises once more. Strength of the sand flame ball. The Serpent Clan shall rise again.
Alright, so this is my Plant Bloodmage. I call it the Biomancer. We're using some tricks from last season that did get some nerfs, but we're still planning to use it. It's really strong in this build. Blood Mage would just be best for a plant build, and that's because crits work really well with plant skills. So I figured life scaling, Wrathpith Globe would be really strong. The base crit doesn't matter too much, but it does give base crit to our Thunderstorm. So the reason that doesn't matter, Thrashing Vines and Entangle already have a base crit of 15. Our fourth ascendancy, I'm thinking of using Vitality Siphon for extra leech. I might end up just going with Grasping Wounds instead. Not sure yet. Probably the better option since we're so tanky already. We're almost always overcapped life, which does affect your gore spike. This is the passive tree. We're kind of focusing duration nodes, crit nodes, some AoE with Fisher stuff like the Splitting Ground. These both are really good for you. Duration, crit, I'm going for this radial force for the immobilization buildup since we do pin. And I'm going to grab Grounded in the Earth and Relentless Vindicator. All really good passives. We get Boundless Growth, as well as Proliferating Weeds, Dangerous Blossom, and Return to Nature. Sacrificial Blood is really strong in this build. Same with Cut to the Bone. We do Impale. I'm not sure if Impale's actually counting because it says that each attack hits only extracts. So I'm noticing I apply 60 Impales, but I never see them being used. I have a theory that there's a way to make it work to make your spells considered as an attack. You may be able to do Living Lightning on your Thunderstorm. I have yet to test it. My next video might test that. We still need attack rods as well, which I'll probably just throw here to change this up, or maybe over here. I'm not sure, but I need the tech rod Undying Hate. Doesn't matter which souls, but this is what my next big upgrade is, and that will make it so that we can start getting stuff like this and this, and that'll let us touch the arcane as well, and those will all be extremely powerful in this character. I am considering keeping this Cut to the Bone even if the impales won't matter, and I might just switch over to this because the break armor really helps. It's a lot of damage. But yeah, that's the build so far. Just crit Bloodmage setup for plants. Very simple. This passive is very good, but I recommend getting it after you've gotten a little bit of damage on the tree and some of your crit nodes, as well as 2 ascendancies, and then grab this so the less duration won't really matter. You'll notice the difference big time. For gems, our life remnants, we're using the max leveled harmonic remnants and remnant potency. In Tangle, we have accelerated growth 2 so that we apply blind on hit. And the reason that's big is because we have blindside on our thrashing vines, which gives more crit damage bonus and more crit chance. So very strong there. We also have Uruk's Smelting, which I love because it increases physical damage taken on the enemies by 20%. And we're also using Pin too because that gives us crit chance and pins the enemy, which is like, it's like a stun but also an interrupt. So if they're about to cast a spell and it pins them, it's just immediate. They stop casting it. It's really, really, really good. Using Brutality 3 so that we're only doing physical, but we can ignore physical damage reduction. Don't really know if this is all that necessary. We might be able to swap this for something better now that we break armor anyways. And then Zenith 2 is important. That way we get the increased mana cost efficiency for now. Once we get Tech Rod's Undying Hate in the passives tree, and we get that notable, we can remove this for something that gives even more damage and mana cost, because the higher our mana costs, the higher our life costs, and the higher our life costs, the higher life regen we'll get each time we cast stuff. That's going to be extremely powerful. For Thrashing Vines, we're using Bleed 3 so that it bleeds, and we're doing that because our Thunderstorm applies incisions, so I figured that was just a really strong combination. Probably not the best in slot, but I figured since there's so much damage, it should be fine. Adalui's Bloodletting. This is one of the big damage support gems, and I figured it would be really good since it was good last season. It got a little nerfed, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's really strong. Brutality 3, not sure if it's needed because of the armor breaking stuff. And then Zenith on here too, so that we can get that mana cost efficiency for now. Again, once you get that Undying Hate, you can switch this. Thunderstorm we have just to boost our damage with shock and get incision and accelerated growth happening. It automatically overgrows plants with the rain. We're using Prolonged Duration 2, Coursing Current for an extra set of hits. Static Shocks for the same reason, gives us extra hits. Zenith 2 for the same reason that we're using in the other two skills. And then Incision with Bleed 4 to boost my Bleed 3. Bark Skin I'm testing out, and I think it goes really well with Ghost Dance when you have some armor and evasion mixed, so that's why I'm using that. I didn't know what else to use for those Spirit Gem slots, so I just put that in. Maybe you could use Blink if you'd rather, or whatever else you could think of, you could probably slot in. I was testing Cast on Crit with the Thunderstorm. It was okay, but you start losing life and mana really fast, and it didn't matter what I did, it was just too much. I could put in a bunch of different spells, it would almost kill you in boss fights, so I swapped it out for this stuff. Attrition I've been using, because it's more hit damage, up to 52%, and Culling Strike. It's pretty much best in slot Spirit Gem. You can use it from very early on. Clarity 2 for that mana regen rate, because our spells do cost a lot of mana. And Cannibalism 2 for life recovery on kill, because everything also costs life. Our items are pretty simple, nothing too crazy. The wand needs some improvement, but this is kind of what you're looking for, is spell damage or spell physical damage. Level of all spell skills as high as you can get. Critical hit chance for spells is really good. Critical spell damage bonus is very good. You really want that. Wrathpith Globe, kind of best in slot for our build. Obvious reasons. We're not using channeling skills, so it's still good. Crown of the Victor gives us +1 level, so I figured I might as well use it. Kind of boosts our damage quite a lot. As you can see, if I take it out, we lose roughly 3k. So yeah, I'd rather use it. Our amulet is pretty decent, although I want to get a +3 with spell crit and crit damage bonus with a bunch of life. You're really going to want altered brain chemistry in this build, and the reason why is because the mana recovery rate from flasks and during flask effect is really strong using this unique flask, Lavianga Spirits. This is just giving me 60 flat mana regen at all times, constant. So I ended up getting this kind of early on, luckily, for free from the free unique vendor. You get to pick one in the preludes. This was in my pick, so I had to go with it and test it, and I really like it with this setup. It just helps keep my mana topped up for the most part. Gloves, you're just looking for life. You can get any resists however you want to fill it out. Gain deflection rating equal to evasion rating is very strong if you get 20% or more. My boots look similar. I needed some deflection rating on the build. Our chest, we want as much life as possible, as much spirit as possible, and some resist, as well as the 40% of armor also applies to elemental damage. You want roughly 40% because that's going to help fill out your damage reduction for elemental damage. Since you have 75% resistances, that should give you quite a bit more on top. And remember, this goes up after we take some damage because of bark skin. So, pretty tanky. It's nothing too crazy, but it's not bad. Rings is just life and resists any defenses you can get. like evasion rating's nice. The other stats aren't too important. Strength would be good too. And the belt is similar, but you really want the flasks gain charges per second and flask mana recovery rate. And you want armor as well. You're trying to get that armor rating a little higher. I would like it to be 25% roughly, and I want my evasion to be like 15 to 20%. I think that will feel best. For flasks, you're going to want a life flask with as much increased charges as possible. And the reason why is because of sanguine tides. And this also means you're going to want increased amount recovered as well, because you're getting less recovery from flasks. But you gain 1% of damage as physical damage for 3 seconds per charge consumed. And it consumes 40% of its charges when you hit an enemy while it's at full. So this is the best in slot belt and flask combo, and that's why I like this setup. It's just very synergistic. Very cool for the Blood Mage. Charms, I like this for a little bit of chaos resistance after I take one little hit of chaos damage. It just helps slow it down from hurting me. And this is for freeze immunity. I've never been frozen, never noticed, so this is perfect. I personally have been trying this golden charm. It's okay, I think. I know it says it only lasts 1 second, but I believe that means the moment you've killed that enemy, that like nanosecond or millisecond it takes for the drop to like drop, that's when this takes effect. I'm pretty certain. Can't guarantee, but it just feels good to have, so I'm using it, and I don't really have a need for anything else. If you want to replace it, I would say the slow one, or any of the uniques that seem useful to you. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to help. I hope you guys enjoy this build. I really do. I'm gonna do a lot more with it and see if I can complete the game fully. I'm gonna push it as far as it can go, kind of show you guys the progress. But yeah, this happened really fast. I'm sorry I didn't get the video out yesterday. It just kind of kept snowballing, and I didn't have good enough internet speed at the time because all my family was home. And yeah, so you get the video today, and I'll try my best to get another one out tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoy this a lot. If you did, please subscribe. It would help my channel out. I'll see you guys in the next one.